If you don't want to go from this guy to this guy, then you can skip this video. Because if you feel like you're not good looking enough or attractive enough, or you're just not maximizing your looks, then watch this video to the end. Because in this video, I'm going to tell you not only how to have a physical glow up, but also a social glow up where whenever you talk to someone, they just instantly like you. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Saqib and I help young men become the most successful, attractive, and confident versions of themselves. I'm 22 years old and I'm just sharing the lessons that I learned so that you can get respect from men and attraction from women. So, if you want to become the most successful, attractive, and confident version of yourself, scroll down and click on the subscribe button. With that being said, onto the advice. When I was around 17 or 18 years old, I used to feel very insecure about how I looked. I used to obsessively compare myself to other guys who were my age, who were actually getting girls. And I used to ask myself, what do they have that I don't? Maybe it's their hair, maybe it's this, or maybe it's that. And I used to always compare myself to what those guys had that I didn't. And that really messed up my self-image. And to make things worse, I got called ugly a few times. And once by a girl I really liked. I used to come home and look at before and after pictures of celebrities and just think to myself that if I wanted to have a similar glow up as them, I needed to spend a lot of money. But that was not the case. And I finally decided to make a change. And that is exactly what I'm going to be covering in this video. So if you're tired of feeling ugly, thinking that other guys are better than you, and thinking that the girls that you like are out of your league, then don't worry about it. Because again, I was in your shoes. I know exactly how it feels, but whatever's happened has happened. Forget about it. Just watch this video to the end because I'm going to give you actionable steps on exactly what you need to do in order to have a glow up. I'm in your corner. I got you. So let's talk about how you can have a glow up as well. I'm going to use myself as a dummy for this video and just assume that I'm a 3 out of 10 for the sake of this video. And the goal of this video is going to be turning me from a 3 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. So you can follow the steps along the way and turn yourself into an 8 as well. So here are the glow up tips. First things first, it goes without saying that you cannot have bad breath or body odor, BO. You can be the most attractive guy on the planet. Like I'm talking about a 10 out of 10 here. But if you have bad breath or if you have BO, you're going to become an instant 0 out of 10. It goes without saying. No bad breath, no BO. So if you struggle with, let's say, bad breath, make sure you're brushing your teeth twice a day and make sure you're also scraping your tongue. Because when you eat something, the bacteria basically builds up on your tongue and that's pretty much what causes you to have bad breath. So go to Amazon, get a tongue scraper and make sure you're scraping your tongue every single day. And again, it goes without saying, brush your teeth twice a day. As for BO, body odor, just shower every single day. Use a high quality bath gel or like soap or deodorant, whatever. Make sure you're using something that's high quality and shower every day. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much all you have to do to make sure you don't have BO or bad breath. Okay, now that we covered the fundamentals, the first glow up tip for you is to start hitting the gym. Look at every single before and after glow up pictures that you can find. Look at every single one of them on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, whatever, like wherever you can find. Almost every single one of them, the gym was involved. Exercising not only makes you look better, it also gives you more confidence. So that when you're walking through life, you're walking with more confidence and that confidence is attractive. And not only that, when you're working out, you build an aesthetic physique. And on top of that, you also build sharper facial features. And you can ask anyone you want, but sharper facial features make your face a lot more attractive. So start hitting the gym. That is a non-negotiable. So like we talked about before, I'm using myself as a dummy for this video and I told myself that I am a 3 out of 10. If I've been working out for 6 months, I'm going to go from a 3 out of 10 to a 4.5 out of 10. Now let's see how I can turn myself from a 4.5 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10 using the tips that I'm going to talk about in just a bit. Glow up tip number 2 is fixing your diet. Now again, this sounds very obvious, but think about the last 21 days. Did you actually have a clean diet? The glow up tip number 1 and glow up tip number 2, which is the gym and your diet. These are pretty much all you need to do to actually have a glow up. But most people ignore the basics. Most people ignore the fundamentals. Most people get the latest trendy facial masks or cleanser or moisturizer or whatever, but they just ignore the fundamentals, which is just hitting the gym and having a clean diet. For your diet, the first thing that needs to go is sugar. It's gone. You cannot consume sugar because again, like we talked about, when you're working out, you have sharp facial features, which makes you more attractive. Sugar makes your face look more puffy. And on top of that, sugar also makes you feel more sluggish and lazier. So on the first tip, we talked about how going to the gym makes you feel a lot more confident, and that confidence is attractive. Similarly, sugar makes you feel a lot more sluggish. That sluggishness makes you feel unconfident, which in turn makes you less attractive. Not to mention the fact that sugar is a drug, and just like your parents said, drugs are not good for you. And sugar also promotes acne, wrinkles, and just a bunch of other bad stuff that you want to avoid. Now, I'm not telling you to completely cut out sugar. You can have it once or twice a month, but that's it. Do this for 30 days, and you will notice a difference. And I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying this. I've actually done it myself. You've already seen the thumbnail. I went from looking like a loser, looking like this guy, to this guy. So if you want to have the same transformation, if you want to have the same glow up, just listen to what I'm saying. Cut out sugar and stick to a good diet. It will not only help clear your acne, but it will also help you build muscle, have more energy, which in turn is going to make you a lot more confident. And again, confidence is attractive. So me, the dummy, have to stick to a good diet. So I just went from a 4.5 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. Now I'm going to try to bump that number up from a 5 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10 using the next 3 glow up tips. Glow up tip number 3 is hygiene. Now we already talked about this before, but you absolutely cannot have BO, bad breath, or that white thing beside your eyes or beside your lips when you wake up. That is unattractive. You can be the best looking guy, but if you have any of those, you go to an instant zero. If whenever you open your mouth, people can smell what you had for lunch, they're going to avoid you like the plague. I'm going to avoid you like the plague. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just stick to the basics. Brush your teeth twice a day and get a tongue scraper from Amazon. It's going to be like $6 or something, and just scrape your tongue every single day. And always have a pack of gum available whenever you're having dry mouth. To make sure you don't have BO, just shower every day, use a high quality bath gel or soap or whatever, and use a high quality deodorant as well. If you're just doing that, if you're just sticking to the fundamentals, it will take care of your BO and your bad breath problem. And some other basic stuff when it comes to hygiene is always make sure you don't have crusty lips. If you always have like dry or crusty lips, always carry a lip balm with you so that we can just take care of that whenever you're on the way. Make sure that you're washing your face properly so that you don't have that white thing beside your eye or your lips or whatever. And lastly, always keep your facial hair in check. If you can grow a full beard, go for it. But if you can't, if you have like that, if you have pubes on your face where it's like some beard here and then like it's not connecting, then just shave it off. Because having that non-connecting beard just makes you lose attractiveness points. So just shave it off. Go clean shaven. You can never go wrong with having a clean shaven face. If you can grow a beard, grow it. If you cannot, then just go clean shaven. Okay, so I was a 3 out of 10. I started going to the gym for 6 months. I fixed my diet, and I also made sure that my hygiene was on point. Now I'm a 5.5 out of 10. But I still have some work to do. I still need to become that 8 out of 10. And that is exactly what I'm going to do with the next 2 glow up tips. Glow up tip number 4 is style. Most people dress like Adam Sandler. And if you don't know what he dresses like, he looks homeless. And if you want to be taken seriously, you can't step out of your house wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. That is pretty much what everyone and their grandpa wears these days. If you want to be taken seriously, if you want to look more attractive and have a glow up, you need to dress the part as well. Having bad style is causing you at least 1 or 2 attractiveness points. But again, if that was you, don't worry about it. Just make sure you're not doing that anymore. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, if I'm not wearing hoodies or sweatpants, what do I wear? All you need are a few pairs of black t-shirts, and I have a list right here. I'm taking this seriously. I'm trying to help you out. So do your part and make sure you're actually doing these things. But anyways, all you need are a few pairs of black t-shirts, a few pairs of white t-shirts, 1 stylish sweater, 1 stylish jacket, 2 or 3 black jeans, and a pair of white sneakers. That's all you need to put together a lot of stylish outfits. Getting all of these stuff will probably cost you around $200 or $300, but it will 100% be worth it because you will be taken more seriously and guys will respect you and girls will be attracted to you. Okay, I used to dress like a homeless person, but now I listen to my own advice. I bought some stylish pairs and now I am a 7 out of 10, but I'm still not an 8 out of 10, and that was the goal of this video. So what else can I do to make sure I bump my number from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10? Unfortunately, it's not something physical that I can do to bump myself from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. I cannot change how I look, I cannot change my genes, and I'm not going to get a plastic surgery. So how can I turn myself into an 8 out of 10? This brings us to glow up tip number 5, which is having charisma. We just covered all the physical aspects to having a glow up, but holy shit, do I know some attractive guys who can't talk for shit. No hate to those guys, but whenever they open their mouths, they just bore me to death. And you can be an attractive person, but if you cannot hold a conversation, if you cannot be charismatic, then you're going to lose a lot of attractiveness points. So let's make sure you're also having a social glow up so that whenever you talk to people, they just instantly like you. Becoming charismatic comes down to having 3 traits, which are power, warmth, and competence. And let me show you how to get all 3 of these traits so that people think you are charismatic and you can go from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. So firstly, how do you get power? Power comes down to just having status. And here are some instant ways to not only appear higher status, but also be more higher status. First of all, you need to look physically stronger. You need to have good style and dress attractively. And you also need to have proper hygiene. You can't smell bad. You can't have BO or bad breath. It's almost like we already talked about this, didn't we? And the last way to have more power and be higher status is to actually be successful at something. Those are some ways you can have the power aspect to having more charisma. The second thing we talked about was warmth. And you have warmth by becoming more likable and relatable. Some ways to having warmth and being more likable and relatable is to give people genuine compliments. Tell people stories about you messing up instead of telling them about how great you are. Have piercing eye contact when you're talking to people. Be more uplifting and positive and just make people feel good about themselves. Doing all of these things will make you more likable and relatable. And as a result, you're also going to be a lot more warmer as a person, which is going to increase your charisma. And the last trait to having charisma is competence. And the way you become more competent is by actually being good at something like a sport or a business or a hobby or whatever. If you want more videos on how to be more charismatic, then let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video for you. Okay, now I have charisma and I just went from a 3 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. But is there any way I can go from an 8 out of 10 to a 9 or even a 10 out of 10? There is one way, but it will take a while. To become a 9 or a 10 out of 10, you're going to have to add money to everything that we just talked about, which means you're going to have to become a successful person. The money part is going to be more of a long-term thing, but you might as well get started right now. Because as you keep doing all the other 5 things that we talked about, while also making sure your money is going up, in 1 or 2 years, you're going to be an absolute 10 out of 10. The years will pass anyway. And when it does, will you be rich or will you be broke? So get a job, start a business, watch my I lost $20,000 YouTube video. That's going to give you some ideas on how to start making money. And just make sure that you're actually doing something to make more money. I just showed you how to go from a 3 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. If you found this video valuable and you want to have a similar glow up as me in the thumbnail, which is going from this to this, then scroll down and click on the subscribe button. I'm posting a lot more videos like this to make sure that we're becoming the best versions of ourselves in terms of money, fitness, social life, mindset, productivity, you name it. We're talking about everything. So scroll down and click on the subscribe button if you're on a similar journey as me. So go ahead, subscribe, watch my I lost $20,000 video, and I will see you in the next one.